Marcus sat at the kitchen table staring at his phone. His wife Sophia had been gone for 3 days on a business trip to Denver, and the house felt empty without her. Their daughter Lily, 12 years old, was doing homework at the counter. Their son Jake, 9, was building something with blocks in the living room. 22 years of marriage, 2 beautiful children, a comfortable home in the suburbs. From the outside they had everything. But Marcus felt the distance growing between them. Sophia traveled more and more for work, late-night calls, weekends at the office. He understood her career was important, but lately, something felt different. The warmth in her voice had faded. The light in her eyes when she looked at him had dimmed. He missed her. He missed them. "Dad, when is Mom coming home?" Lily asked, looking up from her math homework. "2 more days, sweetheart." "I miss her," Jake called from the living room. An idea sparked in Marcus's mind. Why wait? Why not surprise her? They could fly to Denver, show up at her hotel, take her to dinner, remind her that her family loved her, that they were thinking of her. "Kids, how would you like to surprise Mom?" Both children lit up with excitement. The next morning, Marcus booked 3 tickets to Denver. He called Sophia's assistant, pretending he needed to send her some documents, and got the name of her hotel. Everything fell into place. They would arrive that evening, surprise her at the hotel, and spend the weekend together. The flight was filled with anticipation. Lily picked out a bouquet of flowers at the airport. Jake drew a picture of their family. Marcus felt nervous excitement, like he was courting Sophia all over again. They arrived at the Riverside Grand Hotel just after 7 in the evening. The lobby was elegant, all marble and soft lighting. Marcus approached the front desk. "I'm here to surprise my wife. She's a guest. Sophia Martinez, room 214. The desk clerk smiled. "How lovely. Would you like me to call up first?" "No, thank you. We want it to be a surprise." They took the elevator to the 2nd floor. Jake bounced with excitement. Lily held the flowers carefully. Marcus's heart pounded as they walked down the carpeted hallway, room 214. He raised his hand to knock, then paused. Something made him try the door handle first. It was unlocked. He pushed the door open slowly. What he saw shattered everything. Sophia stood near the window in a hotel robe, her hair damp from a shower. But she wasn't alone. A man Marcus had never seen before sat on the edge of the bed, dressed in a business suit, laughing at something Sophia had just said. The room went silent. Sophia's face drained of all color. "Marcus!" Lily dropped the flowers. The sound of them hitting the floor seemed impossibly loud. "Dad?" Jake's small voice broke the silence. The man on the bed stood quickly, his expression shifting from confusion to understanding to guilt in seconds. Marcus felt his legs go weak. 22 years, 2 children, everything they'd built together. "Kids, go back to the hallway," he said quietly, his voice somehow steady despite his racing heart. "Marcus, this isn't what it looks like," Sophia started, but her voice faltered. "Mom?" Lily's voice was small, broken. Marcus gently guided his children out of the room and closed the door behind them. In the hallway, Lily began to cry. Jake stared at the wall, his young mind trying to process what they'd seen. Marcus knelt down and pulled them both into his arms. "It's going to be okay," he whispered, though he didn't know if it was true. The door opened. Sophia stood there, tears streaming down her face. The man had left through another exit. "I'm sorry," she said. "I'm so sorry." Marcus looked at the woman he'd loved since he was 25 years old. The woman he'd built a life with, the mother of his children. "How long?" he asked. 3 months. 3 months of lies. 3 months of late-night calls that suddenly made sense. 3 months of distance that now had a reason. "We're going home," Marcus said quietly. "Marcus, please let me explain." "Not here. Not in front of the kids." The flight home was silent. Lily cried quietly in her seat. Jake held Marcus's hand the entire time. Sophia sat across the aisle, her face buried in her hands. Back home, after the children were finally asleep, Marcus and Sophia sat in their living room. The same living room where they'd celebrated birthdays and Christmases, where they'd taught their children to walk, where they'd dreamed about their future. "I felt invisible," Sophia said finally. "You were so focused on the kids, on your work. I felt like I disappeared." Marcus felt anger rise in his chest, but also recognition. Had he taken her for granted? Had he stopped seeing her as a woman and only as a mother and wife? "That doesn't excuse what you did," he said. "You broke our family." "I know." They sat in silence for a long time. Over the next weeks they talked, really talked, for the first time in years. They went to counseling. Sophia ended the affair immediately. She took a leave from work. Marcus confronted his own failings as a husband. It wasn't easy. Some days Marcus wanted to walk away. Some nights, Sophia cried herself to sleep. Lily and Jake needed their own counseling to process what they'd witnessed. But slowly, painfully, they began to rebuild. 6 months later, Marcus and Sophia sat on their back porch, watching their children play in the yard. The trust wasn't fully restored. The hurt hadn't completely healed. But they were trying. "I almost lost everything that mattered," Sophia said quietly, taking his hand. "We both did," Marcus replied. "Some marriages don't survive betrayal. Some families break apart and never come back together." Marcus and Sophia's story wasn't simple or easy. It was messy and painful and required both of them to change. But they learned that love isn't just a feeling. It's a choice you make every single day. It's seeing your partner, truly seeing them, and choosing them again and again. The surprise trip to Denver didn't go as Marcus planned. But in a strange way, it saved them. It forced them to confront what was broken before it was too late. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more honest stories about the complexity of relationships and family. Comment below about forgiveness, second chances, or how you've navigated difficult times. Sometimes sharing our struggles helps others find their way.